We all get depressed, the emotion, on a regular basis when things are not going well in our lives. And these little bouts of feeling slightly down will normally last for several days, maybe a week at the very most. But for about 1 in 5 of us, we get what we call clinically depressed. In other words, we develop serious, significant bouts of low mood lasting for periods up to 6 to 9 months. And this depression is basically a physical, psychological and cognitive illness. Contrary to many people in the community who still believe that depression is a chemical illness, we now know from our neuroscientific research that depression is actually a neurocircuitry illness. And it's these neurocircuitry difficulties that give rise to the following kind of symptoms. For periods of up to 6-9 months, we may feel fatigued, severely fatigued. We may be constantly down. We're very negative in our thinking. We see only the negative in everything. We lose our enjoyment of life. We stop being motivated to do things. And more importantly, we really struggle with sleep. We may find that we're waking up in the middle of the night and can't get back to sleep. We're exhausted in the morning. We may also find that unfortunately, we're starting to get some self-harm thoughts, which are really quite common in depression. And in a small number of cases, we may even start to get serious thoughts and plans as to how we want to end our lives. So this condition, many people assume that if I have depression, I have it for life. But we now know that in reality, most bouts of depression only last for about 6 to 9 months, and that most people who suffer from bouts of depression will probably only get around 3 to 4 episodes in their whole life. And it's only about 20% of people who actually get significant, persistent bouts of depression who may require more intense management. I think what's important is that these bouts of depression are so easily manageable if we apply simple lifestyle changes, CBT techniques, drug therapy if required, and mindfulness techniques as a form of prevention. In Depression, a Practical Guide, I put together a 4-step approach. And this really is all basically about how best to deal with a particular individual bout. So 4 steps are really quite simple. The first step is all about learning that the symptoms I have are due to depression. In other words, recognizing that what I'm suffering from is not something that I'm causing myself, it's something that's happening to me. That's the most important step in depression. The next key part of that step is to come for help, to come for some professional help, to either a family doctor, a specialist or a therapist. The second step is simply all about getting some assistance through that help to feel better in our lives, so that our energy and our interest and our sleep and our cognition all are improving. The third step is simply then dealing with all the particular issues that might be causing me difficulties, stressors in my life, or my thinking in particular, and that's best managed with CBT techniques. And the last step is simply, again, applying further lifestyle changes and CBT techniques along with some mindfulness to basically try to reduce the chances of getting further attacks from then on.